Today is my recap of days 14 through 20. We are halfway done. Wait, we are more than halfway done. Hi, Maria here from myartpixie.com. I hope you guys are having a great time with Inktober. I am, and I just wanted to encourage you to keep going. This week you'll see that I was kind of out and about when I was doing some of my art, but I also have a couple that I did at my desk as well. So stay tuned and watch the process for this week. I had so much fun this week with my Inktober drawings. Not only did I draw in several different places, but I also enjoyed the outcomes. Many times I don't have a plan, I just have an idea of what I want to do, and then I start. I just begin. The fish, for example, which you'll see later in the video, turned out to be very whimsical and unique. I was so happy with the end result. It kind of makes me giggle because I'm always surprised. Sometimes I surprise myself with whatever kind of comes through the pen onto the paper. Do you ever do that with your art? Making something that you sit back and think, well, that was fun. I think it probably stems from the fact that it's a passion of mine and I enjoy it so much. This week, as I continue with the artist mindset, I would like to talk about how, as an artist, we must always keep learning. None of us have arrived as an artist. We must make space to grow and learn. And it is more about being intentional with our learning. For example, I could spend hours on YouTube watching other artists teach me a new technique or a new skill, especially when it comes to Adobe programs, because they are constantly changing, and so we are constantly learning as we use those programs. Same thing with the Procreate app on my iPad. There's constant updates and changes, and so it's good to go on YouTube and try to find, some of the latest tips and tricks when it comes to that app. But I also enjoy learning from other artists who paint or use pen and ink, as I do. I also think it's fun to watch people do mixed media, because that is an area that I really enjoy. Or watercolor. And there are so many opportunities for you to find somebody that you really enjoy on YouTube, and then you can learn from them. So learning could also look like an online course or class. There are so many to choose from. Start by Googling watercolor courses, for example, and see what pops up. Of course, there is Udemy and Skillshare and other online platforms that offer classes that have a plethora of opportunities that you could join. These usually have a fee that go along with it, but we do need to invest in our learning. I think that it's okay to set some money aside for that learning opportunity. Even LinkedIn Learning has some great options. If you are plugged into LinkedIn, they've got some great options on there as well with Adobe, but also with fine art and other art techniques. Finding a local workshop near you is a great idea. There are several offered at my local library here in Middlebury, Indiana. And I know colleges and universities offer small workshops. So do art galleries, art stores, and local artist co-ops. We have a great co-op near us that offers ceramics, painting, jewelry making, and other classes all year round. You can pay monthly or just pop in when you can, but you usually do have to sign up ahead of time and plan accordingly. If it's on a Wednesday night at 7, for example, making sure that that's free so that you can join that class, whether it's just a one-time thing or if it's a weekly class for maybe 6 weeks or something like that. I have several friends who take advantage of this local option, and they rave because they're not only learning new techniques and new skills and they're getting better at their art, but they also have found an art community that they can connect with, and they can get to know other artists who have common interests. So it's a great way to connect with other artists. I still love a great art book, especially secondhand books about calligraphy or mixed media. I enjoy seeing what other artists have in mind for materials and supplies, and maybe what techniques or tips that they use for a certain medium. You can find books in the library, of course. There's all kinds of books about watercolor, mixed media, ceramics, sculpture, all of those things. But you can also go to a secondhand bookstore and you can find those things as well. And they're rather inexpensive, and you can use them. The great thing about that is that when you're done with the book, you can also take it back and sell it back to the store, and you're kind of recycling that book for somebody else to use. And of course, you can order books on Amazon and go to other, bookstores and things like that and find some great books. We have United Art and Education here, and they have an area with some art books that teach you, different techniques and things like that. And then you can pick up the supplies if you want to give it a try. As far as my art goes, I enjoy using a sketchbook on a daily basis, and this is part of my learning process. I usually always have one with me wherever I go. I kind of travel with it, keep it in my bag, and always make sure that I have some of my pens or pencils with me as well. This is a great way to practice and then also learn. So if you need to practice hands, for example, then you could, study hands and how they move and what they look like and how they're formed and all of those kinds of things through your sketchbook, and you can just have hand after hand while you practice that. You can practice adult hands and children hands and that kind of thing. So you really have a focused practice, and you're able to learn how to better draw hands. You can do the same thing with any topic: flowers, people. Some people have a hard time drawing people's faces, so it's a great way to be able to work on those different features and things like that without having to worry about it being a masterpiece, for example. Practice drawing the things that you find hardest to draw, and you will get better over time. It's just like anything else. Practice makes perfect. Of course, we're not going for perfect. That's the only downfall about that quote, but we are going for improvement. So maybe we should say practice makes improvement. A sketchbook is also a safe place for you to grow and learn as an artist because it is private to you. It's private as you want it to be. So if you want to share it with people, you certainly can, but you don't have to. It doesn't matter if you mess up. You can just turn to the next page and start again. I remember when my kids were younger and I would let them draw with me in my sketchbooks. Now I have their art within my sketchbooks, and that always makes me smile. Their little scribbles of flowers are always my favorite. I love to go back and look at them. So you can think of creative ways to involve your kids in this art practice as well. So if you would like to see some of my sketchbooks, let me know in the comments below. I would love to share them with you. I have shared my watercolor journals on this channel before. I can link that above if you would like to go watch it now or maybe later. Watercolor can be intimidating, but it can also be manageable within a watercolor journal. I know that it has helped me learn and play and have fun within that journal and not worry about, having to stretch the paper, having to, have this big space for watercolor. I can just work within the boundaries of the watercolor journal. I also feel free to explore because I'm not afraid of wasting larger pieces of watercolor paper. Give it a try. I have the supplies linked below if you would like to go see what I use for my watercolor journal and my travel watercoloring kit that I have. It is through Amazon, just to give you a heads up. You will be taken to that link, but at least you can kind of check it out and see if it works for you. This week is a big milestone for Inktober because not only are we more than halfway through, but we also only have 11 more days of Inktober. Just a week and a half. I have enjoyed it so much, and I hope that you have too. This is the point where I start to put my coloring book together so that I can get it printed in time for the holidays. I will be adding them to my shop soon for a pre-order. I will let you know next week in my video when to be looking for that announcement. I know I've had a few people ask already if they could pre-order, but I kind of want to open it all up at one time. Can't wait to see all of these Dreamcatchers in one collection within the coloring book. I honestly think that's probably my favorite part. I can remember where I have drawn them, what location I was at. I can remember what was happening that day, and all of those things, all of those memories kind of flood back. So it's a lot of fun for me. I hope that you guys see it too as an opportunity to just have a collection that you can color, or you don't have to color it, but I would be so thrilled if you would be interested in pre-ordering my book, or I should say coloring book. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below how you feel about being halfway done. Until next time, bye!